first episode of the Dukes of Weebdom.
Woo!
Woo! Listen, I just gotta say too, and we talked about this beforehand, the procrastination on this shit is real.
Been like, what, half a year?
About 6 months. And the fact that we're finally here and doing this, I'm excited that we're finally presenting our basement talks that we've been having for upwards to 15 years.
We are the manga sages.
and I'm more on your end with the manga. On my end, still more so anime that you've definitely moved.
Gotta make the transition, bro.
I mean, I'm there with a few of them. I mean, like, I know that you're big time against this new movement of light novel isekais and their shit.
It's ruined anime.
Well, listen, I will 100% back you in their bullshit naming. That some of these animes with their long, their synopsis titles, they just name
it. I got the whole story already.
Yeah, name for an anime. Who needs that? We'll just make the title the synopsis, and it's just honestly at this point it's competition to who has the longer name.
See, that's why I just don't watch anime anymore.
But like for me, most of the new anime that I'm watching, if I seem to like it after whatever run it is, like Blue Lock, for example, that we'll talk about in a bit. It's a 2-core system right now, so it's hooked me in. Once that ends, and with its animation budget, first off, fucking amazing.
It is. Besides those...
background runners.
Yeah.
Background runners.
It deserves a mention.
Background runners is bad. It gets bad.
It gets really bad.
The CG back there. But that one kick episode.
Yeah. See, I noticed it because I've read the manga.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because once I get caught up and the season ends, I'm like, well, I mean, I'm gonna need some more.
You need your fix.
So
you'll miss those one kicks.
Yeah, the one kicking episode. And then I'll transfer, like something like Blue Lock, then I'll probably transfer to the manga. But then there's other things that's just like, I'm not going to read the manga for every anime title. But then also...
See, that
it's just...
Those things just don't need to be ingested then.
I don't know. I still like the whole... me just sitting back and viewing, but at the same time, when we do watch anime, the two of us, we have different
here's the thing.
In sub and dub.
You're going to sit down and spend
still read.
like 8 hours watching a 12 episodes seasonal anime when you can read that in like 10 minutes. And it will take 8 hours. It's like 12 episodes, half hour, well, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah. But
opening and
that's
song.
10 minutes of manga.
Maybe.
I read 192 chapters of Blue Lock in 2 weeks.
True, but that's a lot.
I watched the first 3 episodes. I went back to chapter 1, and I just didn't stop.
You see, for me though, when I watch anime, it's just like more of a veg. So like if I'm reading manga, I have to be staring at my phone, and then eventually my eyes will start like hurting because I'm staring at my, like, I don't know, for me a cell phone screen is just like it's different than a TV screen, maybe because I'm further away from it, and like my head, my position, and like how I'm laying down or sitting in a chair or whatever, viewing it is more comfortable than say sitting in a chair reading on my phone. And then plus, like, you know, then I have to plug in my phone occasionally because it's gonna die, and it's just like sometimes it's a pain in the ass, and then your finger hurts because you're scrolling constantly for
So you just need to calcify those thumbs.
Yeah, work out the thumb muscles.
It's all in the calcification.
I really do. But I mean, I've been doing good. There's quite a few mangas that I read that, you know, are coming out, like JJK we're up to date on. We got Kaiju Number 8, House Paradise. We read. Well, I mean, I read those physicals. I fucking destroyed that. Yeah. But again, same thing though. A physical, it's a book in your hand.
Feels so good.
It feels good on your hands. It doesn't hurt your eyeballs. You can lay down. You can position yourself however. You know, if you try and position a phone, you're laying down on your side, then you're fighting the screen tilt.
Well, trust me, I know. I've been reading that Dorohedoro.
You know, I don't know. We said we'd bring it up. It's just my lack of interest in it. And you said you had something to say for that.
It's complicated. It's got the sexy art. It's got the sexy sneakers.
A dude's an alligator. It's cool, but
dark, gritty, and gory. And then world building happens, and I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know where it's going ever. It likes to bill itself on being wacky and zany, and I don't think that's my favorite parts of it, but it's still worth a read.
You see, it's funny because everything you just said could be then attributed to One Piece, which I fucking love to death. World building, no one does it better than Goda. There's a reason we put the G before the O.
No one does it worse than Dorohedoro.
All right, then, if you're saying, because you're saying world building for Dorohedoro, wacky characters and stuff, that's literally like everything One Piece is. Wacky. But you're saying world building is bad in Dorohedoro?
It's like, I don't want to say bad, but it's like every time I learn something about the world or the magic or anything like that, I feel like it's like a split-second thought from the author rather than like a pre-planned thing.
See, I feel like everything Oda does, you can just feel that he's known about it forever. And you're just like, it makes so much sense.
It's almost like Dorohedoro is already a completed puzzle, and every time I learn something new, they're taking a piece away from my understanding. But it's still good. It's still really good.
I don't know. It's just everything I know about it, which I will admit is limited.
And
to a
granted,
certain extent,
I haven't passed out of what the anime covers yet, so
I didn't even watch that, and I mean, I saw scenes for it, but I was like, you know what turned me off to it? It was like, that's some bad CGI.
It is some bad CGI. That's some early Mappa you're looking at. It is Mappa, though.
It is. Well, Mappa, like, I don't know, those poor animators, man.
It's true.
They went
sad.
They went through a training arc and became the main characters, but now they have, like, the fucking, I don't even know, the villain organization all bombarding them all once they got attacked. Well, don't even get me started on Attack on Titan.
So we had
bullshit final season part 17, arc 3, chapter 9.
This even starts with like Chainsaw Man going directly into Attack on Titan, which will probably still be going or taking a core break as it rolls into Hell's Paradise.
And they got JJK coming back
in July, with Hell's Paradise starting in April. So that'll probably be on a core break or done for its season when JJK comes back. They're literally, the sun never sets on the Mappa Empire. There's not a moment a Mappa anime isn't airing.
Well, actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but no, I think it's not. It's Project IG or something like that.
Production IG.
That is, which, because they're on break right now, the Nier anime. I forget who did the anime. Episodes weekly on Crunchyroll. I don't know, but I don't think it's Mappa. It's not.
It's not Mappa.
Yeah, no. But I think Mappa's doing something.
Oh yeah, they have even more.
Mappa. Oh yeah, has the list right here. They got JJK, Attack on Titan,
Ippo. Oh, they're doing Vinland Saga Season 2.
Oh, that's what it is. I knew there was something.
So they're doubled up. Yeah.
Well, from what I hear, because first off, you need to read, watch anything, consume Vinland Saga up to. I've seen the season 1. And read. I forget who did season 1, but it's not Mappa. Mappa didn't do season 1.
Oh, I forgot who did
it. But it's amazing. It's so good. Wit Studio. Well, I mean that.
Wow.
What is with Wit giving up their IPs to Mappa?
Oof, Mappa hard carrying Wit right now.
Wit did it better though.
Oh, I believe it. They did it better on AOT.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They just did, but at the same time, you know that they took forever to do Attack on Titan. That's why they gave it to someone else. But at this point, Mappa's taking forever on it too. What the hell, Mappa?
Yeah.
First off, too, it's like everyone, like, people were praising Attack on Titan final season. part 1. Let's go back to that. The original final season, done by Mappa. It looks so good. I'm like, okay, listen. It's the weakest of the new Mappa seasons. JJK looks way better than Attack on Titan.
Okay. Other series
Hell's
too.
Paradise right now, from what limited we've seen, looks way better than it. Vinland Saga Season 2, so far, I've only seen trailers. I just haven't gotten around to starting watching it yet.
There's stuff they put out earlier that looks better. Yuri on Ice is a Mappa anime.
Yeah, that looks way better than Attack on Titan. But I don't want to say Attack on Titan final season is bad. It's not. You can see the CGI when it happens. But Wit just did it way better. But Wit took way longer to do it. That one scene with Levi versus the Beast Titan, the dude said that took him 6 months to make. That's a minute and a half scene in an episode.
Yeah.
And they have, what was that season? 15 episode season or 12 episode season?
This is why everyone needs to quit anime and move to manga.
That's not going to happen.
Because I'll probably read Attack on Titan. Probably before I finish the anime.
Well, probably before the anime finishes. Yeah, probably, because the way they're doing it. It's already got 2 more parts for...
If not then definitely by the time I would finish it.
Well, because you're, 4 episodes away from catching up to where the anime currently is?
Months.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, because I have a few spoilers. Nothing crazy, I don't think. But from my understanding of what I've read in comment sections... when the season ended and where it ended, they were so confused. They're like, what's the next season going to be? 6 episodes? So in my mind, I don't understand how the next part is in 2 parts. What was it going to be? 3 episode parts? So, because like
manga, Kingdom Hearts 2.8 specifically.
Yeah. Well, because manga readers were all saying it's like at the end, you know what I mean? There's not much left to cover. So unless they're trying to really expand on it. And I know the ending is divisive.
Or we could get a 2-minute Eren Yeager wake-up routine.
Oh, like the
Aki?
Yeah, Chainsaw Man.
Wakes up, gets the blood of his enemies in a skull, drinks it up.
Well, I don't think he can anymore, with the whole decapitation part.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's just a head.
Oh, yeah. It kind of just stopped showing him on screen, so after the rumbling started, so I just kind of...
Oh, yeah, because that's one of the few... it's not really that big of a spoiler. You're going to see it, almost immediately once you catch up. And for anyone listening, it's been finished. The manga's been finished so long. It can't be that big of a spoiler. But when you see his big found in Titan form, all the skeleton and whatever, it has the head. Eren's inside the mouth. And it's just a head on a spinal cord inside the mouth of the giant Titan. Ew. So that's all he is. Because he got his head blown off.
Yeah.
And the Found in Titan connected his head back to the body to transform into the Titan. So yeah, he's just a head. And I believe, what's his name? The brother, Zeke. His body is melded into it because Zeke is the royal blood. You need the royal blood to activate it. So they kind of fused together to make the Found in Titan.
Gross.
Yeah, a little bit, but poor Mappa dudes.
Poor Mappa dudes.
The animators.
I'm still sitting here dying for my JJK season 2 though.
Shibuya arc is going to be amazing, and because I think they're gonna. I don't want to say they're gonna speed through it, but the mini prequel with Geto.
Yeah, it should be like
3 episodes max. Because how many chapters was that? 10, if that. Because we got to see our boy.
Yeah, you know what? 3 episodes would be perfect. 3-act structure. They get the setup. They get fighting off all the dudes that Toji sends, and then you can introduce Toji by the end.
Toji, the guy.
That's everybody's guy.
The author Wayne.
I only have one guy. And it's a girl, and it's Miwa.
Fuck Miwa. Get out of here with that.
Miwa Army.
Nobody's Miwa. It's a meme.
Oh, you don't know.
She got
he doesn't
low
know.
diffed by a nerfed Maki.
And that was the awakening.
She
has been shown in the Culling Games for reasons who knows. Gege says he's got 50 chapters left in him. He's still hasn't given me more Miwa. So it's just going to be fact. She has to be the one to kill Kenjaku. Gege's laying the breadcrumbs.
Speaking of Kenjaku, can we just talk about how Geto is infinitely better than Kenjaku?
He was. I'm so tired of it.
It makes no sense. Kenjaku has literally, or at least we haven't seen anything. His flashback better be fire, because he has no motivations being developed in the story for me to give a shit about him. Geto made you hate him for, he had a goal, he had a singular purpose that he was going to, and you're like, okay, I understand. It's fucked up, but yeah, you're the bad guy. It's supposed to be fucked up. Kenjaku is just... Yeah, I don't even know. He's just existing to be a bad guy. You know what I mean?
And it kills me that they did this right after giving you Geto's, like, purpose.
It was an
and
asshole
goals.
out of nowhere. It was so good that you see that short backstory. It's like, what was that backstory even for?
You might as well not have shown it to me.
Why establish Geto as a character just to bring him back as a zombie for Kenjaku? It would have been so much better if it was actually Geto in Shibuya to trap Gojo.
He was a douche. He was a racist. But, I mean, I got to see why.
But he was established in a flashback. And then when you bring the character back... I mean, he was already back because we see him in season 1. And then we get the flashback. Like, oh, we're getting the flashback of this dude we've been seeing that we don't know who he is. His name's Geto. He was friends with Gojo. And he did this stuff and this.
It was the similarities when it was introduced too. Like, we get Geto being just like, oh, humans are monkeys and they should all be dead. And then you get Kenjaku being like, cursed energy and cursed spirits are like the ultimate thing in life. And I want to push it to its limit. It's just like, are you two very even that different?
Well, the thing is, too, a lot of... Because, like... You know, obviously, most of what the fame of JJK is going to have is from its anime. And the way they set it up with Geto is they already showed him in the movie, which was a flashback, but a sequel.
Late flashback.
But it's a flashback of season 1, but it's a sequel of what season 2 is going to start with.
Yep.
Because it's the end of Geto's story. And Geto's story starts at the beginning of season 2. So it's like people are going to get confused and be like, oh, this guy just died, but here he is again. And then when Shibuya starts, they're like, oh, he's back, but he's here, but then he's this guy named Ken. It's if he was just Geto straight across the board.
I almost would have loved to have like the Heavenly Inventory arc be its own movie, and then Chapter 0 be its own movie, and then just start season 2 in Shibuya.
I feel like there's the perfect amount of content for a movie for the Heavenly Inventory, because it's this, I feel it's what 10, 12 chapters,
its own story,
same as Demon Slayer's Mugen Train. That was about 12 chapters. They fit beautifully into a movie, and I feel like they could do the same. The scope of
they
the
fit more
the
beautifully
story.
than Chapter 0's chapters even did. Chapter 0's got like 2 episodes, and then you get your movie.
Well, yeah, because Chapter 0's 4 chapters.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know what's going on. And then it's just like, I don't know, the way Shibuya goes down is amazing, yeah, but it's like that one underlying thing is a small thing, because Kenjaku's really not... I mean, he starts the Shibuya incident.
Yeah, but he barely does anything. He's at the very, very end.
And the beginning with Gojo.
When Kusakabe blocks Uzumaki. Just a reminder. Just a reminder.
Yeah, I know. But that dude, was he done since?
I mean, he's alive, and he's probably enjoying it.
He's out there in the world doing something.
But hopefully training Miwa. Hopefully that's what he was doing. And now Miwa walking around like she got that swag and that ruthless energy.
What do you need Miwa for when you got Yuta?
To kill Kenjaku.
Please. Wait, what do you mean? Kenjaku's obviously Yuji's older brother.
I'll never get over that post of like Toji hits Yuji, and then suddenly memories of their shared childhood flood into their brain.
Oh, Jesus.
It better be canon. I just gotta say, it better be canon. You better not have thrown that gag at me twice and not had a reason to do it.
Yeah, it's Todo and the oldest blood brother. I forget his name. The oldest brother.
Me too. Poor him.
And he just fought Kenjaku like 3 chapters ago.
He just had his best moment of the entire series, and I still don't know his name.
Oh, Jesus, it's bad.
I would have. I just watched the podcast about this, and I still don't know the man's name.
Yeah. How would you look that up? Blood manipulation characters, maybe? I don't know. Pearson Blood Wiki.
Pearson Bloodwicki.
Let's try it. Oof. Oh, that guy.
Choso. Choso. I saw it.
Oh, yeah, right here. Choso. Yeah.
Best chapter he's had, like, ever. 2 chapters ago.
Yeah, because out of nowhere, it was in the bathroom, right?
For the Shibuya fight?
Yeah, Shibuya. And he's, like, somehow, apparently, now thinking that he knows Yuji. And then I missed the Todo one until I saw
Todo just fucking happened. Like, it just suddenly, like, happened in the middle of it.
Yeah, because it was I think it was, like, he briefly, offhandedly mentions it after their fight with Nanami. And I don't know where or when it happened with Todo and Itadori.
I want to see the exact moment, too, because I feel like both times it happened while Itadori was losing.
Well, because I don't think it explicitly says when it happens when he was losing in the bathroom fight against Choso.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say when it happens with Todo because he talks about it to someone after the fact. That's how I missed it, because I saw it in a clip on something. I was like, wait a minute,
I think it was the narrator saying it.
Yeah, because he says something about how he used to, how he remembers something, a memory with Yuji, and I'm like, you met the dude today.
It actually went through, like, their whole, like, backstory, being like, oh, back when we went to school together, and I was going to ask out that idol I really love, and Itadori was like, you should do it, man. Like, they had a whole, like,
expose. Because I think what happened was when I first watched it, I was watching it weekly, so I probably just thought it was part of another one of Todo's weird fantasies in his mind.
But then it happens to Choso.
Yeah, so it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
I mean, if it is just a gag, it's a great retcon on a gag, but how did Choso know too? I really want this to be canon.
Yeah. Well, as we've said before, Yuji needs something. He can't be I punch hard guy to beat
Kenjaku. Well, he's not going to beat Kenjaku. Miwa's going to beat Kenjaku.
Regardless of what happens, Yuji has to at least fight the dude, okay?
Does he?
Because you got to think, in my opinion on how the story's going, regardless, we'll talk about last week's chapter in a second, because that was just, what was that? But my mind in the future is... All right, so Yuji's got to fight Kenjaku at some point. Whether he's the one to beat him, yeah, he's the main character. Whether he beats Kenjaku or whatever happens, someone, whether it's anybody, I don't know who it is, Maki, Yuta, someone beats Kenjaku, right? But Kenjaku's plan still has to happen. And whatever Kenjaku's plan is, I believe it has to do with bringing Sukuna back. Somehow. Getting him out of Yuji and being his own entity.
Well, he's devoted so much time to it.
So that's what my feeling is okay, you're bringing Sukuna back. If you do that, it's either going to be one of two things. He separates him from Yuji and makes him his own entity, or he makes him take over Yuji's body completely. Whatever the case is. But, so then it's like, okay, they already have the means to free Gojo. They just have to find the prison to then use the means on the thing to free Gojo. Who's going to take out Sukuna? Is it going to be Gojo? Or
so is our series going to end with Gojo coming back? Like, am I going to get, like, a chapter of Gojo?
Yeah, Gojo's not doing nothing for the rest of the series. He's going to be in that. They're going to free him, and he's either going to... Because he's too powerful. They set him up to...
I need one more Gojo pop-off.
All right, but if he gets out of that thing, he ends the series that day.
We still don't know Kenjaku's original technique. But, I mean, Kenjaku wasn't confident going up against him.
Who's going to win, Kenjaku or Gojo? Gojo. Who's going to win, Gojo or Sukuna? We've debated it. We don't know. Maybe Sukuna can get through Gojo's infinity. Either way, it's a tough fight. But even if Gojo loses, Sukuna's going to be damaged enough that whoever else
comes in... That Miwa could come in and finish him off.
No, you know who I actually think is going to take on Gojo? Sukuna? Megumin.
Probably.
Because they're setting something up. He's interested in him. When they explained what Megumin's power really is at the end of Shibuya and what he can theoretically do with those summons, I was like, dude, this dude's fucking broken.
I always thought that Sukuna either wants Megumi's body or relates to Megumi in some way. So, like, do you remember when Gojo talked about how the first head of the first person that had infinities and the six eyes fought someone from Megumi's
family? And once I was like, what? That's
crazy.
I
almost want to think that the one from Megumi's family could have been Sukuna before he was a curse. Because he was a sorcerer first.
Yes. Maybe.
But this is just speculation.
Yeah. Who knows what's gonna happen? But
no, I do. Miwa's gonna solo.
Miwa ain't doing shit. You're not gonna see Miwa ever.
Actually, I saw a great person's take on this. That they think the perfect person to take down Kenjaku right now would be Maki. Because she embodies Yuki's idea of a perfect world, taking away the cursed energy from everybody to stop curses.
True.
Maki represents the perfect form of that. So it'd almost be like thematically perfect for her to do it.
The end thing though with Maki, so it's like, I think it came out of nowhere too, where because she got face stomped in Shibuya.
Yeah, Naoya was beaten.
She got beat bad. But then so my thing was, it's like I feel like because he made Toji so awesome, he's like, okay, I need someone else to be as awesome as this guy. And I feel like Maki wasn't originally going to be that guy because she got so mollywopped, and then out of nowhere, she gets all burnt. There's no training arc. There's nothing. She just comes back in and just murders her entire clan.
Well, there's some weird stuff with like Mai too, completing her or something.
Yeah, okay, but then it wasn't complete because I'm like, I still don't think you're anywhere close to Toji's level. But then it's like, okay, and then she has that sumo wrestling match with that dude in the hyperbolic time chamber, and somehow comes out of it. It's like, okay, you beat a dude in sumo, and now all of a sudden you're just leveled up 6 times. And
I understand what I was missing now.
And now, but it's like even the author, like the narrator, it was like the square bubbles was like, she is on Toji's level now, or whatever. I forget the exact word. I was like, yeah, we'll see about that, Toji. You know, Toji's the dude that almost killed Gojo, and he's got no cursed energy. Like, how do you...
I need to see Maki against something a little more real now.
Yes.
Something to sink my teeth into.
Yes, so we'll see. I think there's something involved with her, but...
I think she's going to die to Sukuna.
I think a lot of people are going to die to Sukuna.
I think it's specifically because the narrator, during that Naoya fight, when it goes into the domain, was like, it regards her as an object. And Sukuna has a specific attack that even in his domain would destroy objects. Rather than targeting cursed energy.
True.
So I almost think these are intentional little nuggets being dropped that Maki's just going to get fucking dismantled. Whether it be by...
you know who's going to kill?
Sukuna or by Yuji.
You know who's going to kill the main bad guy? Kusakabe. She's going to come out of nowhere.
This is what
Where
I mean,
the fuck
bro.
is she?
Kusakabe and Miwa jump in together, block Uzumaki, cut that brain into 4.
Deflect it, put a nail in his head, and just hammer it home?
Oh, Nobara. Kujisaki.
Yes. Sorry, what did I say?
You said my boy Kusakabe, who blocked Uzumaki.
Oh, yes, see, because you said that. No, yes.
So it made perfect sense.
You're right. I'm sorry. That was a misname.
Nobara could give them some backup, I guess.
But because we still don't know what's up with her. Yuji asked Megumi about it, and he just kind of like gave him a blank stare.
Like a grimace, like a...
But then they mentioned her in last week's chapter. So we got something
out of nowhere, pulling my heartstrings.
Speaking of last week's chapter, I feel like I read it out of order. I feel like
Same.
someone put all of the pages in a shuffle, and then just gave it to me in a shuffle.
Here, we got 3 chapters. We're going to interweave each page of these 3 chapters.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on, dude.
Some of the lines didn't even look like they connected in the officials.
Why are they looking like they're about to fight Angel? Weren't they just on Angel's side 2 seconds
and
ago?
Angel's saying like she's on Megumi's side, and like which was also weird and
but
random.
They're squaring up right now. I'm like, what's going on? It wasn't Angel?
Are they? Because that's the weird thing. They were walking away from Angel, and then Angel's just suddenly like, "You have something to say to me?" It was literally like them walking away. Are they in front of her?
Well,
you don't see any background in her panel. She could have just been. You know how she's talking to herself, and then they're walking away, and then she's like, "Don't you have something to say to me?" Yes. That should be to another person, but she was just alone. They just walked away from her.
I'm going to pull it up on my phone, but on the Shonen Jump app. But
I was just looking at this, too.
I could have sworn, right? Because I thought that in the final panel, it shows them squared up, standing right in front of her.
It doesn't show them all on the same page.
Right there.
Oh,
and he's got his wolf out, and fucking Yuji's standing there with like... Well, his hands look like they're in a pocket.
That is so weird. They just walked away from the bitch.
And then on the final panel at the bottom,
that's also what confused the shit out of me.
Who is that guy?
Oh, that's the super funny guy.
Yeah, why is he there saying that he's the final panel? Like, what?
I'm also so sad they off-screen those soldiers. I really want to see Megumi slap those soldiers in Yuji. Like, when he kicked the fucking smoker stun grenade, I was ready. I was in. And then the next chapter starts, and they're, like, interrogating the last guy already.
Yeah, but it's like, first off, Yuji's saying he's afraid that Angel's going to try and replace Kugisaki.
And that came out of nowhere. No one was thinking that.
No one. And it's like, isn't Angel the one that they're trying to recruit to be able to then free Gojo? Because it's her ability, right? It's her,
Angel, yeah.
It's Angel's ability to break
negate or
seals or something, which Gojo sealed.
Or negate curse techniques, specifically.
One or the other.
Yeah, I think the curse technique removal is through her. I think that's how they want to get out of Prison Realm. Though... I mean, if Prison Realm isn't on Kenjaku's person, he fucked up.
Big time, yeah. Well, first off, part of me thinks because as soon as Gojo went in that, he was holding it and he dropped it.
Because it was super heavy, but didn't he just pick it up later?
Well, no, because he dropped... Yeah, but he did, but he dropped it because Gojo was fighting back from the inside. So he, kind of oh, shit.
Whoa.
Even from inside, you can still do this much. So I'm almost, sitting here, I feel like given enough time... Maybe not more than what the series has planned, but I feel like if Gojo's in there long enough, over enough time, I feel like he could probably get out himself. But, because I don't know how it works in there, if he's just infinitely trapped in there, or if he would eventually grow old and die in there, or because...
Something tells me he wouldn't grow old and die, because he's, Kenjaku says, I'll see you in 1,000 years.
Makes sense, yeah. Okay, there you go. Because also...
And Kenjaku will be there in 1,000 years.
He's got no food or water, and he's already been in there for how long? What's the time skip after Shibuya?
Oh, I have no clue.
Plus, they've been in the Cullen arc, so it's it's been a while, and the dude's been without food and water, so...
Well, I mean, I wonder if you could just reverse curse technique, the damage of starvation and dehydration.
Probably, yeah, you're right. It's probably just got to be
does Yuta need to eat?
Well, couldn't he just also, going real dark here, couldn't he just also eat parts of Rika and then she'd go away? And
you
then
went very dark.
He'd re-summon her and she'd be back, you know what I mean? Because she's a manifestation, a physical meat sack manifestation of his cursed energy. So he's basically...
I don't know, from what Geto described, I'd rather just, not eat.
Same. Yeah, agreed. I'm not saying it's the best option here. But, listen, Rika would be very thrilled to have that happen. Let's be real.
Yes, she'd be totally down for it. I'm inside you, Yuta.
No, she would absolutely love every second of that. But that's my thoughts on current JJK.
He's just rushing. I want 3 more years of JJK personally. I want the Culling Games to have a little bit more time here because I feel like he's really rushing to a conclusion. And then I want another whole arc for Sukuna stuff and Heian Air stuff and Angel and all this shit.
That's what people are, I haven't really seen much of it lately, but when it first happened after Oda took a time skip for One Piece, not a time skip, a break. He took a 1-month break after Wano ended. And because he's wearing the final arc saga
time period,
whatever it is. It's a translation error because there's no Japanese word, I guess, for saga, or it's the same word for arc. So he could say an arc or saga and mean one thing, but us English speaking people would think of another thing. Because if you think saga, you got the Yonko saga, which is basically almost the entire latter half from the second or third arc of the post-time skip till Wano is one saga. Or how the Enies Lobby stuff is Water 7, Enies Lobby, then Water 7 again. That's one saga. It's 3 arcs, but it's a saga. So it's so people are worried that maybe Oda might rush too at the end of One Piece, but he's even come out because Oda has said numerous times, the series is 80% complete, or recently he said he wants to finish it within 5 years, but us fans that have read all of One Piece and watched all of One Piece were like, bro, you ain't finishing this in 5 years. There's way too much stuff you have to cover and answer that 5 years is too short of time, which is hilarious when you think about how an entire series can come out, develop, and finish in that time frame, but
in
One
like
Piece
1 year of that time frame.
Yeah, but then One Piece, on the other hand, is, already 25? Yeah, 25-ish years in print, and we're still like, no, you need another 7 years to finish this story. But that's what makes One Piece so awesome. So, but we'll see. But I know that you're still, like, way far behind in One Piece. But it's
Skypiea.
Well, you're giving it your best effort after years and years and years and years of me trying to convince you to consume it in some kind of medium.
It's better than I thought it'd be. It's cooking more than Hunter x Hunter.
I will say for One Piece, because now that I've consumed all of the big three in their entirety, well, not their entirety because I dropped Naruto like a fucking sack of potatoes, is far and beyond the better of the three.
See, this was before. These are when I was in the womb of manga.
So, I mean, listen, One Piece, the biggest turnoff for people with One Piece is, yes, its length. It's over 1,000 chapters.
And then the character designs.
It's huge. Well, the character designs, it's like...
If we're talking barriers, you can't come at it like a fan perspective. You gotta look at it what the outsiders are seeing.
All right, well, because people, when they see that, they see two people. Senior Pink and Bon Clay. And I will tell you right now, I will stand on a fucking hill and fight all of you.
Well,
if you want to insult either one of those two legends.
You sent me a picture of some dude's forehead the other day, and that was...
Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere. Wapple. Wapple looks ridiculous.
Yes. That dude's forehead, I can't even tell you who that is. So that's massive spoilers. But One Piece fans, large forehead... current chapters.
Large. I mean, tall. Tall forehead might even be a better description.
But yes, it's so good and it's consistently good. I mean, yeah, they've had like slow arcs. Like I'd say Fishman Island is like the big one that people point to, because Fishman Island was spoken about since Nami Arlong Park, you know what I mean? So
since you met Fishman.
Yeah, and it was always a goal to go to it because we were on our way to Fishman Island before Marineford happened. It's just Marineford was a sidetrack. The plan was we're going to Fishman Island after what was that? Thriller Bark, which is the arc immediately after.
Yeah, that's I believe the Brook one.
Yeah, that's the Brook one. Yeah. So once that happens, they go to the place because they have to go somewhere to then be able to go to Fishman Island. And while they're at that place, Sabiondi Archipelago, that's when the events.
Which I've seen some of the anime for that one.
That's where the events of what transpires to get Luffy to Marineford. And Marineford's a huge sidetrack, which honestly is just peak shonen right there. Marineford, I can't wait till you start reading
Reading.
Yeah. Once you get into Marineford, that's some peak shit.
And then sure dropped the anime on like 3 separate occasions.
Listen, the anime is the big one because a lot of people, when they try to want to get into something, they're like, we'll just default into the anime. And the anime is, I will 100% a bad way to get into One Piece. Is because it's just bad, especially the beginning arcs. They've revamped the first 100 or so episodes into 3 or 4 movies that cover the whole thing. The whole East Blue arc is one movie. It's like a 2-hour movie with all high def things. The fights choreography is great. New animation, it's good. I mean, they skip a few beats that you would want to see, but I mean, you can, if you just wanted the basic premise of what's going on, you could skip ahead quite a bit. But the anime does struggle in the fact that
it's anime.
It's anime. It's gonna catch up to the manga eventually. One Piece does.
And it's not manga, which is better.
One Piece just does one manga chapter to an episode. They don't stretch anything, and it's a drag. That's why.
Well, they do stretch anything, just not the manga content.
There's a lot of in the anime. There's a lot of staring at people for an extended amount.
Panning shots.
Yes, and it's rough. So, I've never watched One Piece weekly until Wano, because Wano is the anime is fucking crushing it. The stuff they're doing in the Wano arc right now is amazing. They've had some of the best
I've seen a couple clips. Yeah,
it's just so good, man. I mean, yeah, you could look at like say JJK, Demon Slayer, some of the newer high-end quality animes. They're weekly, and you're like, okay, these episodes are better. But it's like you have to. One Piece is
like
Toei, weekly, non-stop.
And Toei didn't have to pick up their game. They were making enough money, shitting out the shitty stuff.
But Fishman Island is, when they get there, it's kind of a letdown. But it's not that long of an arc. You just power through it. So that's like
Someday.
That's my concern is when you get to Fishman Island, because I know you didn't. You're in Skypiea now. You have your gripes with Skypiea. Skypiea is amazing. We'll talk about it when you finish it. Let's try and just delve into your problems with it. And but
once I finish it, I'm gonna save some of my key points.
But Fishman Island, I think, is going to be a dredge for you to get through. I mean, there's certain plot points in it that are going to
Can't even think about Fishman Island right now.
I know you're still so far away because it struggles too. Because it's off the back of Marineford, and Marineford was so hype, and then also Fishman Island had been so hype that when they get to it, they're just like, it's mid. It's not terrible, but it's mid off of peak. You know what I mean? So now, obviously, it's going to get its backlash from people, but then afterwards, it's great again. But yes, it's long. It's hard to get into.
And I'm reading so many other things.
Yeah, but like I said, in comparative. Naruto, the anime Naruto, fucking amazing. Shippuden, shit. The beginning started off okay, but it goes downhill so fast and so hard.
Guy fighting himself or Lee fighting himself. I think it was Guy fighting himself.
It's probably Guy fighting himself.
It was so bad.
And it just
has peak moments. It does.
Yeah, but like, listen,
the anime.
It got. It derailed itself so bad. The power scale, Naruto and Sasuke got so powerful they can solo their whole fucking verse, the two of them, and then it's like,
now Boruto's left to pick up the pieces.
Oh fuck Boruto! Boruto can suck a chode. Hardest, scaliest, spiky chodes.
I still poke my head into the fandom, see how they're reacting, see what's happening.
I've never watched an entire episode. I've seen clips of the fights. I know you have. You were reading it, weren't you, or just consuming it?
No, I was watching it. I was watching it.
I mean, it's weird.
It descends into filler surprisingly fast. And as a Naruto watcher who knows filler, who was born and burned in filler, I was shocked how fast it got into filler.
Well, first off, Naruto's the worst of the big three.
Yeah, it has a whole fucking arc of filler.
They have numerous arcs of filler, but then they try and make the filler plot relevant in the war arc because they're catching up to the anime. So they're like, all right, we got to have flashbacks, we got to stretch this out and do this. And it's just the power scaling got off, the story got shit. They couldn't figure out how to beat Madara, so they made a new villain to then kill Madara, but they're like, wait a minute, we just made a stronger Madara. We couldn't beat Madara, so how do we beat this guy?
Is that worse than having an arc of filler where you go back in time to relive the events of Naruto as Boruto?
No, that is infinitely worse.
Yeah, I did touch that either.
Suck a scaly, spiky chode.
I saw that coming in the episode list. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to drop this now. Immediately.
Yeah, and that's why I dropped Naruto, because I was like that early stuff, Chunin exams, the Sasuke retrieval arc, Gold, the Zabuza arc, peak, amazing. Even the animation, that early Naruto animation,
Kimimaro doing 3 back-to-back fights. Slapped.
Yeah. All of it, just from start to finish, amazing. And very little filler. They had a filler episode here, filler episode there, and then at the very end after the Sasuke arc. Because right after the Sasuke retrieval arc ends in the manga, Shippuden starts immediately. Yeah. In the anime, there's 60 episodes of filler.
That I watched weekly.
I also watched, and then it suddenly just ended, and I didn't know Shippuden existed because it didn't air yet.
I was just watching Hinata's team fight someone in the woods.
I just watched Rock Lee take spicy curry that had alcohol in it, and just went to drunk alcohol. It's terrible.
So bad. I saw there was a mask under Kakashi's mask.
That episode's fire.
The only good one.
It's fire. That was hilarious. Sasuke having actual emotions for once in his life. stepping away from his emo phase.
Speaking of the animation, I feel like My Hero's animation right now is like on par with old Naruto, and somehow it's still not hitting for me. But Naruto did.
Yeah, well, because we talked about that also too. Like, I don't know why. Probably because I'm watching it with my wife, and well, she was actually I don't know then, because all of last season she fell behind. So she's recently caught up to me, so now we watch it again weekly. But that's what we were doing. My Hero was the anime that we watched together. And that's what kept me watching it, even in the parts that it was slow. Because, like, season 1, you know, with the All Might stuff, All Might's still around. And then season 2, the fights All for One, goes away. Tournament arcs.
Season 2. And Stain. Season 3 was All for One.
Yeah, all right. And then after that, it got so slow.
The overhaul arc, and there's a great shit in there.
The animation was great, though. I mean,
some of the animation was great.
Lemillion, amazing. I love that guy.
They didn't even do great animation for the Lemillion fight, but the actual
people
content was.
They were saying that it's just colored manga panels on screen, and I was like,
but the content was so good that it was still good.
Yeah, I think because you're not caught up to the anime yet, and like what's happening right now has me intrigued and seeing where the story is going to go. Because I don't read the manga.
Well, I'm not caught up to the anime because I'm pretty much at the end of my rope, and I'm going to jump to the manga because Horikoshi's art slaps.
Well, if that's what's going to take you to just continue with the story, then just do it. You know, you got to just.
It is. I'm dreading it.
You loved Vigilantes. So
my partner doesn't even bring up watching My Hero anymore. We're about to start friggin' like Wednesday on Netflix before we finish My Hero.
That was pretty good. You should watch that.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Me and Danielle watched that. But yeah, the animation this season, there's a lot of fights in this season. So I was expecting, because like the high budget fights, My Hero was known for that, for each core having some kind of high budget animation fight, like
Todoroki versus Deku.
Deku versus Overhaul, or All for One versus All Might.
When this is embarrassing to admit, but when Deku calls out, "It's your power" in the Todoroki fight, moved. I can feel it.
Well, first off, how about power scaling downward? Todoroki getting so mad at fucking elbow bandage guy that he froze the entire arena in a split second. He hasn't done anything even close to that level of power since. It's like you were
besides like the Deku super explosion thing too.
Yeah.
But
all right, in that fight, but I mean, since that arc, every fight that Todoroki has been in since, he's getting demolished. I'm like, what happened to you, bro? What is going on?
My boy's devolving.
Real quick, too, to finish my point, because I was part of it, too. We delved off it, but One Piece being the better of the big three, story-wise. Another, bring Bleach into the mix. Bleach's current new revamp was just...
I still haven't touched it.
In my pants. Every episode was just fire after fire. But even going back and just saying, all right, let's step back from this glorious animation to nostalgia, because way back in high school days, Bleach was my favorite.
Your ish.
It was my number one anime. I didn't even watch One Piece at the time. I wasn't watching One Piece. I was watching Bleach and Naruto as the two of the big three. And Bleach was my anime. But even as it being my anime, I could see the faults in it. There are some plot holes that I've seen in it, which I have graciously kind of turned my back to. There's some, because Kubo's writing is more of lets you fill in the blanks. He lets you read between the lines. He doesn't spell it out for you. He lets the artwork and the story flow, and then you kind of have to, certain subtleties that other authors would hand to you on a platter, be like, or explicitly tell you, be like, oh, this character did this because of this, or this person's power is directed at, or what, you know, something like that. I can't really think of any examples off the top of my head, but Kubo more lets you assume your own things through his storytelling, you know what I mean? And sometimes that's a plus, but then other times it's
I was hearing a lot of minus.
It's to its detriment sometimes, and
that leaves a lot of room for people to like say it's something it's not.
Exactly. And yeah, the final arc kind of this final arc is good, but at the same time, the Eds have its problems. The Fullbring arc is kind of just weird. That was kind of, it's just, it has its weird moments, and like in terms of world building, even Naruto, I think his world building is above Bleach, but then I'd say Bleach's story is more consistent and more entertaining to me than Naruto, especially at the end. Bleach stays very consistent through in the terms of the like, yeah, its power kind of goes up, but Bleach's power scaling never gets so
absurd.
Far out of the realm of what you would think it should be. Naruto definitely does that.
You don't wake up one day and be like, wow, when did this happen?
One Piece is very good at staying in the realm of believability for its verse, you know what I mean? So it's like, because Oda doesn't kill a lot of his enemies because he brings
powers either.
Yeah, and they're definitely like, I see it all the time. Like, I saw something today. It was the stupidest matchup. I was like, why are you even trying to do this? It was some YouTube poll, and they're like, who would win in a fight, Renji or Zoro? Renji would fucking obliterate Zoro. It's not even a chance. And it's not, but it's a popularity poll, so Zoro won. And I'm like, Zoro is a normal dude with hockey and swords. Renji's Bankai shoots laser beams that destroy mountains and shit, and he can fly.
But Zoro,
he
hurt Kaido once.
Yeah, he can teleport all over the place. The speeds, like the power scaling just isn't comparable. One Piece is obviously lower, but One Piece isn't about its combat. One Piece is not a battle shonen. Contrary to popular belief, is not a battle shonen. It is an adventure story.
I stand on that hill for Chainsaw Man.
Battle comes secondary to One Piece. It's the adventure that comes primary in the world building. So that's why Oda is very good at keeping it. I mean, yeah, people can make the argument about Haki because it wasn't fleshed out at the beginning. There's evidence of Haki all the way in episode 1. Shanks uses Conqueror's Haki in episode 1. And then they use Haki in Marineford, but it's not. They say that it's being used. It's being used in arcs before that. It's being mentioned. But then people are like, why didn't Crocodile know Haki? How did Crocodile lose to Luffy? Because in the scope of reality, it shouldn't have happened. Even Oda came out and said later, he's like, yeah, I brought Crocodile into the story too early. I should have saved him for late. He should have been a later villain. He's like, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because Crocodile's standing in the world. I mean, yeah, Luffy still lost to him 3 times before he beat him anyway.
Yeah.
But Crocodile theoretically should never have lost to Luffy ever in any of that, because it just so happened that he had that one weakness of water or moisture to sand
later.
Yeah, which becomes irrelevant once every other character knows about Haki. Haki is a common thing. It's not like I think that Haki is less of a plot hole than Nen is in Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, and it's a big one.
That's a big huge plot hole. That came out. I think that came out of nowhere. He's like, I need a power system to be implemented here. I kind of have a mismatch of these characters can do these things. Like, we had Illumi using his needles. We had Hisoka kind of doing some weird things in the Hunter exams.
Yeah.
But once they got to that tower, he's like, I need a power system, and just kind of threw Nen in there. And
my problem is, he could have still done that. He just needed to not put the shackle on himself that people don't know what Nen is.
Or the fact that Killua doesn't know what Nen is. He's being raised by...
His family could have just not taught him yet, though. He's still a child.
He's a child assassin prodigy that Nen just makes him better at his job. What happens if he got sent on an assassination mission to kill someone with Nen? He would have died.
We also have to keep in mind, too, they had the forced quick way, too. Like, it would have taken a while in other conditions. I just think the only reason the world can't know about Nen is because Togashi thought it was a good idea, and it wasn't.
Yeah, at the time, and now it's biting him.
There's nothing else about the plot that made it have to be that way. Even on, like, the boat later now, where, like, people not knowing about Nen is actually, like, a key component to the story.
Yeah, but I feel like
everyone on the boat could have just not known about Nen.
But I think he just made it that way. He's like, fuck. People don't know about Nen. I made it canon in the plot about that. Now I have to make it a plot point.
Now I dig my bed. Yeah, they only did that on the boat later because it was already...
You would think, though, what was the length of the break that he took?
Oh, it was like 3+ years. I want to say it was definitely an over 2-year hiatus.
Well, because he took 2 of them, right? He came back for 3 chapters and then took another couple year break. Yeah. So I mean, altogether, 5-6 years, maybe, give or take.
Yeah, probably.
You would think though, after taking 5 or 6 years off of your manga, and being on this boat,
and having 70 chapters written out for one of those breaks.
Yeah. You would come back and think that you'd want to get off that boat as quickly as possible, or try, not say rush through it, but maybe if you had...
Maybe. If someone in the world should be rushing their manga, it should be Togashi.
Listen, if you had 6 years off to evaluate where you're going with your story, and you come back...
It wouldn't be a new continent.
Well, yeah, but he already established that. You would think people want the Dark Continent, though. So it's like, get your people there faster. Stop focusing on this boat that your characters have been on for 10 years.
I'm the only person who likes the boat right now. Well, half the boat. I like the top half of the boat. The bottom half of the boat needs to just stop being on page. Everything the spiders are doing, everything it's been culminating up to, boring. Incredibly boring.
Well, because my thing is, listen, it's, as you said, you open a Hunter x Hunter chapter.
And I get someone's dissertation greeting me.
It's a novel on the page with someone's face drawn in a panel somewhere. And it's like, it's like...
I feel like I get one white backdrop with text per chapter.
Yeah, it's off-putting. You don't... It's almost like I don't want to read this.
Every single time I open my new Hunter x Hunter chapter, I close it, read something else, and then sometime days later, I'll finally read Hunter x Hunter. Except for the new chapter. I'm actually like... Put that one off for 2 weeks. I just don't have the will for it anymore.
Because it's like, all right, you took these years off. I understand, yes, he was sick. But at the same time, it's like... Hunter x Hunter is your life's work type deal. Even though you're taking a break from the work, right? You're still thinking about it every day. You're like, where do I want to go with this story? Wonder. You would think anyway. So after the break, you're coming back, and now you're in full swing. You're going. You should know where you're going and how to get there quickly and efficiently with still being good, without changing things. Because it seems like after all those breaks, it's like, I'm just picking up exactly where I left off. I had the same manuscripts. Oda took 1 month off. When we came back, it was kind of jarring because there was changes that were happened in that 1 month. The directions we saw One Piece going, and then Oda came back after the 1 month after Wano ended, and like there were 2 main things that were basically just straight up changed, that were being built up through Wano. And it's like, no, we're not doing this anymore. Oda thought about it because, like, I'm going into my last final saga arc, whatever you want to call it, the end of One Piece. We're in the end game now. And he's like, I got to focus in. So he trimmed the fat, so to say.
Kagashi comes back. It's like he spawned a whole nother pig.
Yeah.
Suddenly, this whole bottom of the boat, which I didn't give a fuck about to begin with, suddenly has all of these new named characters with Nen abilities. We need an entire chapter to just experiment around to figure out, and I don't care.
From my understanding, the only thing that should be happening on the bottom side of the boat is the spiders looking for Hisoka, and Hisoka actively trying to kill them.
And it would be so much more entertaining. There's one character in the bottom half of the boat that isn't a spider or Hisoka that I think is good. That's it. There's been one in 12 chapters. So you can
take that one character and make them in
more important in a better way.
Integral to the plot of Hisoka versus the spiders.
Without needing 30 other people.
Exactly, and then that's 30 other people that you need to establish as characters, come up with powers for, and then they have to have some story through them, and they have to have screen time that pulls
away. For Togashi, it's the deep lore.
Deep lore. Yeah, not counting all of the stuff that's happening with the princes on the top floor.
Like, suddenly I'm getting, like, one mafia family being like, oh, we're connected to this prince at the top of the boat, and our enemies are this one who's connected to this big bad guy prince at the top of the boat, and that one's giving all of their civilian friends Nen powers, but they're civilians. We're not allowed to touch them because they're I don't care, Togashi. I don't care.
You know what turns me off? Crap Ika.
Crapika?
I hate him. I don't like him as a character at all.
He's grown on me a lot this arc, I will say.
I mean, I also have I've not read this arc, current arc, the boat arc. I just know a lot of it from you telling me about it. I cautiously recommend it. Cautiously, yeah. Let me just pick up a book and read that instead.
Kurapika's been great because he's dropped so much of the edge. The reason he's there is edgy. He wants the last Scarlet Eyes.
Didn't you say he only needs like one more pair or whatever?
Literally, like one more pair of eyes. But he's not like gritty revenge dude. He's kind of like political tactics dude right now.
Well, first off, that was another thing that I thought was an ass pull and a half, that he even beat Evoken. And it's like, oh, his powers are specifically designed. It's like, oh, so if you put a needle in your heart that says if you don't fight a spider, it will kill you. But if you fight a spider, all of a sudden it's a super steroid amp that allows you to beat an enhancer that should break you in half when he punches you.
I still think it wasn't that bullshit, personally. I think he was tailor-made to kill Uvogin specifically.
All right,
I think if it was Nobunaga, if it was Sphinx, if it was Phaeton, Kurapika would be in the ground. But I think because it was Uvogin, someone that he could literally just shove that chain right in there from a distance and have no problems.
So the only reason... so I'm not really that upset that he beat him. I think it's that I'm upset that he beat him a week after learning Nen.
Yeah, that's a bit much. But he did tailor his whole ability to it.
I get it, yeah. But, okay, so that's... Well, first off, that's probably stems out of the big anime trope of, like, so... Main character, side character of an anime, they're always teenagers. They find their power at the beginning of the series. Up to a certain point in the series, you got to think it's maybe 2 months of time lapses. And in that 2 months of them discovering this new power that they knew nothing about beforehand, all of a sudden, they're stronger than everyone in the verse that has been training their entire life with this thing. And I'm just like, that's bullshit.
I do think Hunter x Hunter does get around that problem, generally speaking, because, like, think about it, Gon and Killua aren't the strongest in the verse.
Oh, absolutely not. And
Kurapika just very specifically cheated the system for what he needs.
And, like, a lot of people try and say that because of one offshoot line that, Catgirl, that Gon killed. Adult.
Neferpito.
Yeah, an offshoot line that she said something that he's comparable to Meruem. Meruem would fucking trounce Adult Gon. It's not even close.
The exact line was, just to put it into perspective, it was, if he lives, these fangs will surely meet the king, or something along those lines. That doesn't mean they would have killed the king. It doesn't mean it would have even necessarily threatened the king, which I think it would have threatened, but not killed him.
I think pre-Rose Bomb, Meruem beats Gon. Because once the Rose Bomb goes off and the other two Royal Guards give him Meruem his powers, he's stronger than he was before the bomb went off. He evolves.
Yeah.
And he comes back.
I do think Adult Gon is more powerful, power-wise, than Netero was going into that fight.
Well, yeah,
because Netero's got a way better arsenal, got way more combat experience.
If you look at, like...
Gon walked in and punched hard.
Because if you look at, like the standard 3-pronged chart of power, speed, and technique, I would say that Netero is on the speed technique side more than he is the power side, and I'd say Gon is just straight power. I know that
he's probably really fast too in that.
Yeah, because I know. Well, people say that, but Hunter x Hunter has their own 5-prong system of enhancer, specialist, and all that thing. But I'm just talking on a base level, the standard triangle. You got speed, power, and technique, and I would say Gon is more on the power side than Netero was. But as you say, I still think Netero, his experience, technique,
like
arsenal.
Gon literally walked in and just quickly kicked Neferpito, punched her hard, and then just kept punching her.
Yeah.
Which I think is
paper, scissors.
In a fight with Meruem is important, for sure. But I still think he would have lost.
Technically, Meruem has no powers either. He's just,
big, dumb,
really
strong.
fast.
Well, not dumb. Big, smart, strong.
Big, smart, durable, strong. He was taking so much beat down from the Buddha Katsuva. So,
But just one thing to quickly end off on. I do think it is biting Kurapika on the ass to have a power that only works with the spiders right now. Because he's not fighting the spiders right now. And
can't he not even use Nen against his Nen abilities against others? The
threatening kind. He did have one free chain that he did just add an ability into to this arc, but it's not even combat. It's like a dowsing talisman to tell them people are lying.
Jesus Christ. So he's
really
useless.
Important, but no political. It's all politics right now, besides the bottom half of the boat, which is all about sucking ass.
Terrible.
But I'm curious to see Kurapika get into a fight, because Saradnik's not a spider.
Let's put it this way, actually, and put it into perspective. Since Togashi has come back, has there been a single fight?
Oh, man. There definitely has, but again, it's been very much more like political assassinations right now. Like, a lot of people are dying. Mm-hmm. But has there been a fight? Is a hard question. There's been altercations and murders.
No fisticuffs, just straight.
No traditional shonen punch-em-ups.
Stab them in the back.
More like, I did something wrong. It almost feels like Elden Ring. I did something wrong that I didn't even know was wrong. I'm dead now.
Brutal.
I answered this thing. Oh, I'm dead now.
I answered it incorrectly.
That's why Togashi could give me an entire chapter of just the spiders shoving a guy through various doors to try to figure out one no-name person's power. So it's got its ups, it got its downs.
And its downs are down.
Very down right now. Down bad.
Yeah, see, that's probably my biggest turnoff to it, is because you're saying that it's got so much downs, and like, why do I want to just read downs?
I really loved Hunter x Hunter again, from the point after the anime ends to right before Togashi came back.
Really?
I think he came back with some sort of horrible curse.
So basically what you're saying is just the new stuff since the break.
Literally the stuff since the break. Because all of the boat stuff up until they go to the bottom half of the boat with the spiders, I thought was perfect. He's doing the political stuff great. It actually gets to that point where all this exposition, I'm leaning forward after they get on the boat. Maybe I have to specify. There is a certain point between Hisoka versus Chrollo and getting on the boat that really drags.
Brutal.
But that's Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, that's what you get.
But I think that's a good place to wrap up for now.
Yeah, our first ever recorded podcast.
I've been James.
And I've been Russell. Forgot to mention our names at the beginning. You got Russell and James here, the Dukes of Weebdom. Gonna make this a weekly endeavor.
Hopefully. If not bi-weekly, but probably weekly.
Yeah. We'll figure out a schedule at some point. Hopefully get a consistency somewhere in there.
More than Togashi.
Yeah, more than Togashi. You can say that for sure.
Easy goals.
I would say so. But let's not get on, like, the... what was that we were talking about? The monthly...
Yeah.
The bi-monthlies that then they take
the
breaks.
The citruses.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Tri-monthly releases. No, don't do this to me. But, all right, that's it. Take care. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Have a great day.
And you as well.